Thank you. My name is Daniel. I'm a photographer and documentary filmmaker, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my most recent project in the Forbidden Kingdom of Upper Mustang, Nepal. It's actually a little piece of Tibet which politically allied itself with Nepal and thus escaped occupation by the Chinese in the 1950s. So that makes it one of the last places on Earth where the Tibetan people are living with their traditional culture and way of life intact. This woman, for example, is a nomad from the deserts. She travels around with her herd of goats and from camp to camp. And Mustang was a closed, forbidden kingdom in the literal sense, no in or out till 1992, so that makes going there like going back in time. But it's also a site of great change. You can see the difference in the outfits between the traditional and the more modern here. This is a Mustangi horse race, and in this the men get roaring drunk, and then they feed their horses grain alcohol. So you've got a drunk guy on a drunk horse riding bareback with no arms and no legs in a rainstorm. Yeah. Pretty amazing to see. So what was I doing here? I was along as the photographer on the first expedition to Mustang to provide surgical eye care to the people there. And this is very important because Mustangis and Tibetans in general have one of the highest rates of cataract blindness worldwide. It's partially genetic, and it's partially due to the very intense sun exposure up there. So it's something like 1 in 10 people are blind from cataracts in this region. This picture sort of illustrates the harshness of the sun. It's 2 young monks playing hacky sack. And Mustang is at an altitude of 11,000 to 13,000 feet, and at that altitude, ultraviolet exposure is very intense, and that is the leading cause of cataract blindness. So accessing Mustang is difficult in its own right. It's extremely remote, and we were several weeks traveling on horseback and by foot, crossing 13,000-foot mountain passes to reach the Forbidden City, the ancient walled city of Lomontan, which you can see here. And we had to transport 400 kilos of eye supplies with ponies, so it was a pretty arduous process, but luckily we had help. This is Lama Kunga. He's giving an eye chart exam, and he, with 18 of his young monks from the Masala Monastery, came along with us, served as guides, translators, facilitators, gave just unbelievable access to the local community. So you can see here, all the eye chart letters are E's. That's because many people in Mustang are illiterate, so they did a gesture. So Rinchin here has just stolen some fruit from a farmer's field. These monks were rascals. And he then took this fruit and distributed it out to the rest of the monks, which I thought was a very great Buddhist gesture. He opened it and said, "So guys, listen up, that was stolen fruit, so I've just spread my sin out amongst all of you." Mustang being one of the poorest and more remote regions of Nepal, there's no infrastructure to support you if you go blind. It's largely subsistence agriculture, some nomadic herding, and that means that if you lose your sight, your life is literally in jeopardy. It becomes a catastrophic situation, literally a survival situation. That was the case with Karchung, who you see here praying and weeping in her home when we found her. She was crying on the street saying, "God help me, God help me." Her husband died about a year ago. Her vision left at about the same time. She can't feed her goats, and so her life was literally on the verge of collapse when we found her. This man, he had torn his eye in a fall, and there was no hospital to go to. He turned to drink to deal with the pain. When he came to us, he was suffering such severe alcohol withdrawal, he was trembling too badly for us to check his eyes. So what they did was unorthodox. They actually gave him alcohol to calm it down so that they could check his eyes and help him out, and eventually they were able to. This cute little kid, she's actually a nun from the nunnery in Upper Mustang. She came to us so farsighted that she couldn't see. She'd been blind her whole life. We gave her first pair of glasses, and you can see here she has "My Teacher is an Alien" in hand. And this was a spectacular moment for me because clearly she doesn't understand what the book says. She can't read the words, but she's still exploring it as an object with its own significance for the first time, and I thought that was amazing. I never cease to be amazed as well by the beautiful faces of the people that I encounter in this region. You can see every expression this woman's ever made in her entire life in the lines of her face. One of the things that I strive for as a photographer, and I think many photographers strive for, is to share experiences and cultures across boundaries. And so my hope is that by looking at some of these faces, you can step outside of yourselves for just a little moment and imagine what it might be like growing up in a place like Mustang, so vast, so remote, so far removed from most of the experiences you probably had as a first world citizen. Mustang, and he gave us his blessing. And then we loaded everybody up into carts and horses, jeeps, and we shipped them all down to Sarang, Little Mustang, where we would perform our cataract surgery operations. Here we can see Karchung again, our friend who was leaving before. She's just had successful cataract surgery. She's hanging out with 52 other Mustangs. She's about to have the bench removed and about to see again. And it's a difficult thing to describe. It's a remarkable thing seeing 53 people get their sight back in a single moment. They're seeing their loved ones again, their children again, many of them for the first time in 20 or 30 years. Some of them are seeing their grandchildren for the first time in their entire lives. It's just unbelievable. So then we gave them these cool Versace sunglasses to protect their eyes while they heal, and also to prevent future ultraviolet damage to their eyes. Weirdly enough, sunglasses are considered very ugly and uncool in most of the cultures, so we're trying to reverse that taboo in this expedition. So the expedition was a huge success, largely due to numbers healed so much. We saw 1,600 people, which is a quarter of the entire population of Mustang. We gave out 800 pairs of glasses, our one surgical doctor, 83 cataract surgeries in just 2 days. Very simple tools. Love it. So I think I'll leave you with a few words of wisdom from my friend the Rinpoche Sarang Monastery, where we did our surgical camp. He told me, in the Buddhist religion, helping others is the best thing that we can do. And I think that's a good thing for all of us to meditate on. So thank you very much. There's a cool film coming out very soon.